So I recently got back from Las Vegas. I'm sure many of you know that. You follow me on social media, you follow along. He's over here, he's over there. In Vegas, I filmed one of my favorite videos. I got together a bunch of prominent people in the tech community here on YouTube, put them on the spot. I said, what phone is in your pocket? What ensued was just a lot of fun. It was interesting. It got me thinking. All of us in that video, I mean, it really wasn't, there wasn't a lot of variance, right? There were two phones that were selected as the pocket phones for that group of people. 4.3 Pixel 2 XL to the iPhone 10. I guess I just spoiled the video, but I don't know. In that space, we are not representative of the entire globe. And as I've said in past videos, we certainly are not representative of the value choices that exist in smartphones. Because for the most part, we get incredible access to this stuff. It's hard to fully understand the mindset of different parts of the world or people who are restricted in that sense and simply aren't looking at $1,000 phones. And so that brings me to today's video. It brings me to what is likely my favorite phone at about half the price point of other flagships, and that's this one right here, the OnePlus 5T. World's first, the exclusive unboxing video of this color. Let's take a look. From the front, looks a lot like any other, but when you pop it out of here, the vibrance of the very first red phone from OnePlus. This is called Lava Red in conjunction with the Sandstone white, and of course the original black color. Also in the box, you're pretty used to this by this point, a case that they include, which is great. You have the dash charge brick, and then of course, OnePlus USB Type-C cable to charge it up, which in this case, look at that, it's matching. It's the red on red action. Now I know what you're thinking, all right? You're saying, Lou, I don't get it, it's just another color. What's the big deal? And you're right, like that's completely fair. But because of this new color, this new release, I thought it'd be an interesting opportunity to sort of recap some of my thoughts on the value smartphone space, especially as a follow-up to the last video that we published. And yes, of course, I remember the iPhone video where they came out with a red version and I was like, what's the big deal here? What are we doing? But because this one is coming out relatively close to the launch of the original, I feel like it's a little bit more prominent. So it's the Lava Red, it's the Sandstone white, the dedicated red button, and then the other button's done in black. This one is a little bit more grippy, whereas this version here, a little bit more polished. And then don't forget the Star Wars version, which I made a video on. Really cool unboxing experience. Of course, if you power it on, you're getting the Star Wars branding, you're getting some wallpapers, as well as a slightly different interface here to match the color scheme. And then of course, the original, midnight black, depending on the lighting, it kind of turns a little more gray, a couple of sandstone and a couple of anodized finishes. So that's the 5T in Lava Red, the latest addition to the 5T family. And as I said earlier in this video, I think this is a great opportunity for me to recap some of my feelings about this device going into 2018. So this device here, in my last video, I mentioned I've been using it. It's the Pixel 2 XL. Fantastic camera, stock Android experience, and so on. While this device is not $1,000, it's still relatively expensive at $850. Of course, we know that the 5T comes in at $499. So a question that should probably be asked more often is, which is the value point? Is this thing worth almost twice as much as this one? And just like I did in my iPhone 10 video, I had to really think about that. Now granted, this one doesn't go all the way to 1,000, so it's a slightly different evaluation for me personally. I think the takeaway here is that at least with these two devices, I'd have no problem recommending either. And having switched over and used the Pixel 2 XL for an extensive period now, there are actually a few things that I miss from the 5T. The face unlock on the 5T is unbelievable. It is rapid, it is seamless, there's no gesture, no swipe like there is on the iPhone 10. Now, I understand you can't compare those two devices one-to-one because the technology they're using for face unlock is different. But ultimately, for me, I feel like it comes back to user experience. And when technology is seamless and invisible, that's when it's at its best. So the face unlock is incredible on here. But if you're not into that, guess what? Options are good. You still have the fingerprint sensor here, which is incredibly quick as well. Add on to that an experience that's very similar to stock Android, and now you can start to understand why even at $499, this is one of my favorite phones out there. Now the color here with the Lava Red, that really shouldn't be the motivating factor. Of course, choices are good, and generally speaking, multiple options is something we only see, or at least frequently see, in the premium space. It's actually kind of nice to see options emerging at the $499 price point, color-wise, style-wise, and so on, and even limited editions like the Star Wars one. Another thing I'm missing about the 5T, having used the Pixel 2 XL now, the headphone jack. I'm on an airplane, sure, I got the wireless ones, but then, you know, the adapter, remember the adapter, you switch the adapter, you switch phones frequently and so on. I mean, I don't need to tell you, we've had this conversation about headphone jacks in the past, but the 5T has it. That's the bottom line. Pixel 2 XL doesn't, iPhone 10 doesn't. Think about it, it's there. And then the last thing that I missed from this device having switched over is, of course, this dedicated switch, the textured switch on the side to allow you to quickly switch between 3 different notification modes, from do not disturb to silent to the audio ring and so on. That's convenient, it's added functionality, and the Pixel 2 XL doesn't have. So as you can tell, my love for the 5T has not shifted, even though in the last video I said the Pixel 2 XL was the one that's in my pocket. I think I'd be a perfectly happy man using either of these two devices. Although for my taste, I would probably stick to the midnight black. Listen, no camera on the planet on a smartphone can touch the Pixel 2 XL right now. All right, you've heard that from me, you've heard that from others. But if you're on a budget and you want something close and you want something that actually has some functionality that the Pixel 2 XL doesn't, I mean, you need to be looking real hard, real long and hard at the 5T, now available in some extra colors. There it is, revisited. The 5T, probably the best $500 phone on the planet right now. Think about it. This episode of Unbox Therapy has been brought to you by this chair. Yes, that's right, the Novo XT from Human Touch. I don't know, is it the world's greatest massage chair? Probably. I'm somewhere in outer space right now. Have I ever felt this good before, this young? Probably not. The lower back, the calf muscle. You know, this unboxing life, it takes its toll on you. Something like this, well, it's a game changer, certainly around here. Now, if the Novo XT is a little out of your price range, you can also check out the iJoy Massage Anywhere, or the iJoy Active 2.0 massage chair. These are more affordable options that will still leave you feeling like a new man or woman. Thanks again to Human Touch for sponsoring this episode and making me feel at least 10 years younger. I might not look it, but I feel it. I'll have the relevant links down in the description. You need to think real serious about this one. Good luck and farewell.